Good evening and welcome to KiniNews. I'm your host, Camelia. An alleged intelligence report by PAS containing several allegations spread on social media over the weekend. Today, several politicians, including an UMNO Supreme Council member, has called on those who were mentioned in the document to clear the air on the matter.
UMNO Supreme Council member Ahmad Shabery Cheek has called on PAS to clarify if leaked documents, which contain allegations of political manipulation, were true. The documents, which had spread on social media, were allegedly the minutes for meetings that were held between PAS leaders and leaders in several parties, including Bersatu. Among others, the document talked about the cases of UMNO President Zahid Hamidi and former Prime Minister Najib Razak. In a post on Facebook, Ahmad called on Terengganu Menteri Besar Ahmad Samsuri Mokhtar, who is also PAS's vice president, to explain, as he was one of the main figures in the document. Ahmad cited the Watergate and WikiLeaks scandal in the US and questioned if this would be a PAS leak if there is no denial. He added that as it involved the leadership of a party in the current federal government, it would be better for them to issue an immediate denial if the documents were not true. Malaysia Kini has contacted the parties mentioned in the document to get their response on the matter.
One of the people mentioned in the alleged report was Terengganu Menteri Besar Ahmad Samsuri Mokhtar. He admitted that they were meetings but denied the contents in the document.
Dokumen sampah macam tu pun ada orang percaya juga ke? Saya buat gelak je benda tu. Okey.
Memang tak benar langsung.
Tak benar, itu entah datang daripada mana, entah benda-benda sampah lah bagi saya.
This was the reply from Terengganu Menteri Besar Ahmad Samsuri Mokhtar when asked about a so-called leaked PAS intelligence report that had spread on social media. The leaked document contains summaries of Samsuri and another PAS leader's alleged conversations with several UMNO and Bersatu leaders that took place between March 24 and April 7. Earlier today, UMNO veteran Syariah Abdul Samad had called on those named in the document to come out and clear the air due to the allegations made. Among other issues, Syariah said the document suggested that there was a high-level conspiracy involved in the criminal trials against UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi and his predecessor, Najib Abdul Razak. Meanwhile, Zahid said that it is up to the Rakyat and UMNO to evaluate the matter themselves. Samsuri is one of 8 political figures named in the so-called leaked document. Malaysia Kini is attempting to contact other individuals named in the alleged leaked document for comment.
6 migrants were killed in a road accident linked to a pre-dawn escape involving 528 detainees from an immigration department's temporary detention center this morning.
6 migrants died in a road accident while crossing a highway early this morning. The migrants were linked to the pre-dawn escape involving 528 detainees from the Immigration Department's temporary detention center in Sungai Bakap, Penang at 4:30 a.m. today. Penang Police Chief Muhammad Shuhaili Muhammad Zain confirmed the accident and deaths.
So, dalam usaha melepaskan diri pagi tadi pada jam 6.50 di kilometer 165 lebuh raya yang sama, 6 daripada tahanan tersebut telah terlibat di dalam kemalangan jalan raya yang meragut nyawa 6 orang, 2 lelaki dewasa, 2 wanita dewasa, 1 kanak-kanak perempuan, 1 kanak-kanak lelaki. So jumlah yang terlibat dalam kemalangan ialah sebanyak 6 orang.
Earlier today, Immigration Department Director General Khairul Zaimi Daud confirmed the escape, saying that the detainees had broken the doors and grills. He said that as of 10 a.m. this morning, 362 of the detainees have been found and taken back into custody. He added that the search for the remaining detainees is ongoing. It is understood that there are a total of 663 migrants in detention at the temporary depot, mostly from the ethnic Rohingya community.
Meanwhile, the police have launched a manhunt to track the remaining escaped detainees. They also warned the public to be careful as the group may commit crimes to survive.
The Kedah police have launched an operation to track down the remaining Rohingya detainees who are still on the loose following their escape from the Sungai Bakap Immigration Detention Centre this morning. Kedah Police Chief CP1 Hassan Wan Ahmad said the operations would include the Penang and Perak police forces, as well as the Immigration Department, General Operations Force, and Police K9 Unit. He warned the public to be careful as they were worried that the escapees might commit crimes in their attempt to survive and escape from the police.
Juga ada pihak trafik highway juga ada membuat rondaan dan sebagainya. Kita juga menutup jalan-jalan keluar dan kita dapati kemungkinan ada yang menahan kereta penumpang yang ada yang balance lagi 176 orang ini. Dicari ada juga yang mungkin menumpang kereta dan sebagainya. Saya minta kerjasama daripada masyarakat supaya bila kena pasti ni minta maklum pada pihak polis untuk buat tangkapan semula lah.
He added that the police have also launched a probe into the incident. A total of 528 detainees escaped from the Immigration Department's temporary detention center in Sungai Bakap, Penang at 4:30 a.m. this morning. According to the police, 357 have been recaptured and accounted for, including 6 who were killed in an accident while trying to cross the highway.
After several postponements, a Singapore court has set death row inmate Nagendran K. Dharmalingam's execution date for April 27th.
A Singapore court has ruled Malaysian death row inmate Nagendran K. Dharmalingam's execution date for next Wednesday, his lawyer M. Ravi said today. The human rights lawyer said that it is heartbreaking that Singapore would hang an intellectually disabled person. He added that Singapore would not recover from the international disgrace and that blood is in its hands upon the execution. In March, the Singapore court rejected the appeal against Nagendran's execution, dismissing the argument that he should be spared for being mentally impaired. Nagendran, who is 34, has been on death row for more than a decade for trafficking about 42.7 grams of heroin into Singapore in 2009. Singapore practices some of the world's toughest narcotics laws.
Johor Crown Prince Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim has made 3 proposals to the government to stop child abuse cases from recurring.
Johor Crown Prince Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim has proposed 3 important steps to the government to ensure that abuse cases, such as the one involving Down syndrome teenager Bella, does not happen again. In a statement, he said he had suggested the 3 steps in a meeting with Women, Family and Community Development Minister Rina Harun yesterday. Tunku Ismail suggested that the government look at ways to improve laws such as the Child Act 2001. He said, this should include aspects on registration of child care centres, accreditation, evaluation, financing, and monitoring so as to ensure all operators operate legally. He also called on the Social Welfare Department to carry out enforcement by auditing all existing approved childcare centres. He added that they should immediately shut down childcare centres not registered with the department or operating illegally in the state. Apart from these, he said a study must also be done regarding the conditions for childcare centres starting in Johor to be accredited along with guidelines from UNICEF and other independent institutions. He said the findings of the study should be made public and he will ensure that the suggested improvements are taken seriously and carried out immediately.
A PKR MP has called on party leaders to be brave and leave safe urban constituencies and contest in Malay-majority rural seats in the 15th general election.
Alostar MP Chan Min Kai has called on PKR leaders to contest in Malay-majority and rural seats. In a statement, he said PKR should not only contest in the racially mixed and urban seats that have already received a mandate from the people in the previous elections. He added that PKR leaders, particularly those who are highly popular, should be brave enough to explore the rural constituencies that have yet to be won, instead of remaining in safe seats in the cities that have plenty of non-Malay voters. He pointed out that in the recent Johor state election, non-Malay candidates from BN had won in Malay-majority areas, and said that the racial composition of a seat should not be the sole determining factor for candidates. He added that PKR should be more progressive in terms of the racial diversity narrative and conduct experiments and exploration of this narrative. Chan is among 17 candidates vying for one of the 4 PKR vice president posts in the upcoming party polls.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news update. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.